Welcome back to K-Astrology, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kaylin, and today I'm going to be doing your February 2021 horoscope. I also do monthly tarot predictions for all 12 zodiac signs, along with pick a card readings. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K-Astrology. Now, I'm going to leave timestamps in the description box below, so please feel free to jump straight to your sign. For those of you who are sticking around, I'm going to quickly run through your sun, moon, and rising sign horoscopes and how they differ, okay? Your rising sign, otherwise known as your ascendant sign, will always be the most overall accurate horoscope for you. It does not matter how much you identify with that rising sign, okay? You could be an Aries rising, but you're a Cancer sun and you feel more like a Cancer. That's fine. The Aries rising horoscope will be the most accurate for you. Now, with your sun horoscope, this will pertain to your conscious will and your career and any goals and ambitions that you have. Your moon sign will be in relation to, your moon sign horoscope will be in relation to all relationships in your life, your emotional state, and your living circumstances. As I said, the rising sign will be the most accurate and will encompass all of those aforementioned things. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around for this intro. You can now head to your timestamp in the description box below. Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome to your February 2021 horoscope. Month starts off with Mercury being retrograde in your third house in the sign of Aquarius. Let's start off with the most obvious way that this can play out for you guys. Some of you may be hearing from former colleagues, ex-friends, siblings or relatives that you are estranged from, and some of you may even be inclined to reach out to these individuals and try and start a new relationship with them, or clear the air or have a clean slate. On a different level, you may experience miscommunications with clients, co-workers, friends, relatives, or even siblings. So that's something to watch out for, Sagittarius. On a different level, with technology being represented by both the third house and Mercury, you can anticipate having some kind of breakdown with your devices, with technology. Let's just say that computers or phones that you're using may go flat or suddenly stop working. So don't forget to bring a charger with you everywhere you go, especially if you have important meetings coming up. And you may find that your servers, that your internet servers that you are using can just suddenly stop working. Apps that you need to rely on can stop working. And make sure you double check all emails and texts before clicking send. And if you've already drafted something up, make sure that you've actually sent it if it's something important, because Mercury retrograde being in your third house is essentially doubling down on what Mercury retrograde normally represents anyway. Now, from the travel perspective, just be mindful that you may experience delays in any kind of public transport that you are relying on, or even if you've booked some kind of tour, right? Like a tour bus, or you're going on a boat or a cruise, any mode of transport can see there being hefty delays, cancellations, or even mix-ups as a whole. So make sure that if you've booked tickets to literally anything, and especially any kind of transport, that you book the right date, and that the date that you need and the time that you need are marrying with whatever event or occasion you need to get to. On a totally different level, also double check time zones when booking these things. Now, lastly, with Mercury being retrograde, appointments and meetings of all kinds can be subject to delays and cancellations, or needing to be rescheduled, and in some instances may be forgotten entirely. So this can be you and your appointments that you've booked that you completely forget about, or if you are in any kind of consulting role where people rely on you for services or meetings, just be mindful that there can be complications there, okay? People will forget appointments, they've got the wrong date, or they show up an hour late. All of these things can happen, so it's always a good idea to just send additional reminder notifications. And for some of you, you can have meetings unexpectedly crop up in the workplace, okay? If you thought that you had the whole day free to work on a project, suddenly your boss might schedule 3 meetings back to back, and that can obviously stuff up your plans. You might have to redo team projects that you were working on, or even if you have your own business, you might have issues with your website or your payment scheduler that you need to go in and rework. And some of you may be at liberty of losing all of your work, okay? Back everything up. I cannot stress that enough for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings, especially Risings. If you're flying by the seat of your pants and not backing up any kind of work that you've been doing, whether that's for your day job or you're working on a book or a novel, just be careful. You could lose it. So back it up and, make additional copies, even email things to yourself. Now, lastly, with Mercury retrograde, you may actually find that business ideas or ideas that you had for some kind of book or novel or even like a documentary can come back up and be something that you want to explore again. Maybe you had a great idea and you tabled it and you're like, no, this was amazing, and now you're working on that idea again. That's the beneficial way that Mercury retrograde can manifest. Now, on the 2nd of February, Venus will enter the sign of Aquarius, also in your 3rd house. With Venus here, business can go well. Your colleagues can be helpful. You can have your team projects working harmoniously and in tandem. Now, it's also great for anyone who works in the beauty industry, anyone who's in a creative industry, and you can also find that your siblings and your relatives are of help to you at this time. Now, on the 12th of February, there will be a new moon in Aquarius at 23 degrees, also in your 3rd house. New moons indicate new beginnings in some way. So this new moon in your 3rd house can see you starting a new team project. You may have a new team at work as a whole, whether that's you being introduced to a new team, or your boss could employ people and now you have new colleagues. Some of you Sagittarians might be starting your own business, which is super exciting. On a different level, you could be buying a new vehicle. You could be deciding to plan a short trip, whether that's a getaway or or international travel. And some of you could actually be starting to write a book or a novel or some kind of communication piece, all right? Whether it's poetry, public speaking, it's some kind of project connected to communications. And you will see the culmination of this take place 6 months from now, or even 18 months from now, in the upcoming full moon in Aquarius, or the full moon in Aquarius in 18 months, as I said. Now, on the 18th of February, we will see the biggest astrological transit occur for the whole of 2021, and that is Saturn in Aquarius in your 3rd house, squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 6th house. Interestingly, Sagittarius, both the 3rd and the 6th house are connected to work and your daily environment. So this transit is going to have some kind of shocking or unexpected element to it. And the reason for that is that Uranus, together with Mars in Taurus in your 6th house, both like to initiate new projects, new innovative ideas and ways of doing things. And Uranus is a planet which indicates shocking new changes and swift upheaval, okay? So there can be a lot of sudden changes to your work environment. And the reason that, there's this clash occurring for the whole of 2021 really is because Saturn is a polar opposite in nature of Uranus. Saturn likes structure and solid foundations. And this transit will actually occur 3 times this year. The first is on the 18th of February. The second time this will occur is on June the 15th. And the third and final time this transit will hit will be on the 24th of December on New Year's Eve. So the way that this will play out for you, Sagittarius, is that it could involve your work, travel, it could affect your health, and even your relationship with your colleagues and your business, if your own business, if you have one. So on one level, some of you may find that a whole lot of travel that you have to do for your job just isn't working for you anymore. And this is really an untenable situation. This is not how you want your daily work life to play out, and it's having a negative impact on you with regard to health, or it could be having a really negative impact on you with regard to your mindset and your mentality as a whole. This could involve really long daily commutes, whether that's an hour or 2 hours on the train every day, or taking a bus to get to work, and it's really depressing that you're spending all of this time away from your loved ones. Some of you may have to travel a lot internationally or interstate, and this travel lifestyle is impacting your health. You're not able to have a good diet or focus on your exercise regime. And some of you may actually decide that you want to leave your job, or even give your boss, as represented by the 6th house, some kind of ultimatum where you say, look, either I stop traveling 3 weeks every month, okay, I want to reduce this down to 1 week, or I walk, all right? So there's some kind of shocking element here to this ultimatum, or this discussion that you initiate with your boss. On a different level, Sagittarius, some of you who have a good relationship with your colleagues, with your co-workers, may decide to band together and either go to HR or confront your boss. Maybe there's some kind of bullying going on in your workplace, or some really unfair situation at work where you're being mistreated, and now you're rallying together to go up as a whole and say, hey, the whole team's unhappy with this and something's really got to change. That's another way that it can play out. Or some of you may even just have decide to do a mass exodus and all walk or all go on strike. On a different level, Sagittarius, you might leave your work to start your own business, or you may even leave the workplace with your colleagues and start a new business together. Now, it's not all work, work, work. This transit can also play out with you deciding to set healthy, solid boundaries with your family and friends, as represented by the 3rd house, because it's having a negative impact on your health, as represented by the 6th house. Now, of course, you, after all these years, saying to your friends and family, I've had enough, I need to put myself first, I need to put my health first, can have a really shocking impact on them, where they're going, what? But you always help me with this, or you've always taken care of these daily tasks for me, or being the first one on the scene to help in any kind of crisis or situation. But no, you're actually having a huge breakthrough moment where you're realizing that this constant communication with these individuals in your life, while it's helping them, it's not helping you, and it's negatively impacting not just your health, but your ability to take care of yourself and to even get through daily plans and errands that you're running. And some of you may even decide to cut off friends or siblings or relatives as a result of this strain on your vitality and on your time, your physical time that you're putting into this situation. Now, on a different level, Sagittarius, you can realize how a negative mentality or mindset that you've had has been feeding into any kind of bad habit that you have, or even in some cases an addiction. Okay, the 6th house represents addictions, the 3rd house represents our mindset and our mentality. So you might actually find that, you know, you're being confronted by people in the workplace over these issues, or conversely by friends and family and siblings and relatives, and they're pulling you aside and saying, hey, we're really worried about you know, how you've been eating, or, you know, if you've been self-medicating or indulging in any kind of really unhealthy habit or lifestyle. You know, you might have someone sitting you down, or a group of people sitting you down and saying, you know, we're really worried about you and we're here to help. Of course, this can be quite shocking for Sagittarius, for you Sagittarians, but, you know, maybe it's an open, honest conversation which needs to be had. Now, on the 18th of February, we will see Pisces season commencing, with the sun moving into your 4th house. So this can see you focusing on your home life. Maybe you're deciding you want to sell your house, or buy a new home, or buy an investment property. Or if it's not about buying property, maybe the rental that you're living in has, you know, posed issues, or you're feeling like it's come up for its expiry date and you want to relocate to a new home. Or simply, some of you could be interested in renovating, and on a different level, this could be needing to look after an elderly family member, a newborn, okay, if you're brand new parents, or even looking after your own parents, okay, if they're sickly or there's some kind of issue there. That's another way that Pisces season can play out for you. Now, on the 21st of February, Mercury will station direct, and this will see your business meetings finally settling down, your projects settling down. And, you know, if you had a really, really busy and chaotic schedule at your workplace, or even with your own business or in daily life, you can finally, you know, see this start to ease. And if you are waiting on really important documentation or paperwork, which was delayed during Mercury retrograde, this can finally be received by you, or, you know, delivered to you. Now, on a totally different note, with Mercury stationing retrograde, just bear in mind that there's always a 2-week post shadow retrograde period. Okay, so just give it till the end of the 1st week of March before things will well and truly calm down for you. Now, on the 26th of February, Venus will enter the sign of Pisces. This is also in your 4th house. So you will enjoy decorating your home. You'll enjoy focusing on, you know, choosing new paint for the walls, or curating a new aesthetic for your home, or even just your office or one area of your home. This can also see you nesting, okay, whether you're expecting a newborn, or you just want to make your current living situation family friendly. You know, you're thinking about the future. This can be a great time for that. Otherwise, you might just be enjoying time with your parents, or even having parties and celebrations at home. Now, on the 27th of February, we will have a full moon in Virgo at 8 degrees, and this is in your 10th house of career, public reputation, and public visibility, all right? And especially if you're in any kind of leadership position, this will really be affecting you, Sagittarians. Now, full moons always indicate the ending of a chapter, or even sometimes achieving a milestone, okay? So some of you may reach a milestone or a notable career achievement, and it's time for you to celebrate. On a different level, you may have been working really hard on some kind of project, and now you're presenting it to the world. You're showing them what you've been working on. Some of you will see your hard work being rewarded by achieving some kind of promotion or step up in the workplace. And lastly, you might be wrapping up in an old role at work, or in a department that you're in, or even a career as a whole. That's especially the case if you're Sagittarius rising, or sun, or moon around 6 degrees to 12 degrees. If you have your Sagittarius placement there, you might be changing careers altogether, and some of you Sagittarians may be deciding to retire. Well, Sagittarius, that's all I have for you for February 2021. If you enjoyed your horoscope, please give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K-Astrology. I've posted a tarot predictions video for February 2021 for your zodiac sign, so I will leave a link at the end screen here as well. And enjoy your February 2021 Sagittarius, and I will see you guys next month.